Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here today after Christmas, able to enjoy a little time with you. And we were going to take a little look at brioche and how to rip back, but unfortunately, my project is at home on the counter. So instead, I also wanted to talk about a couple different hat styles that are super popular, and then some hat styles that I'm seeing more and more that are the trendy newer look. So I wanted to take a look at those for you. But before we get started, don't forget every week we have a drawing. And for this last week, it was for these extreme winter boot socks, and we had a choice of the gray or black. And I didn't know which color was a winning color for this one. Did you know, Jim?
Great.
Gray is the winning color for these socks. And if you haven't tried our Alpaca Direct socks, extreme boot socks, they are wonderful. They are so thick on the inside. They have this loop construction on the inside of them that makes them super warm, thick, and cozy on your feet. If you're anything like me and you're dealing with a lot of cold weather, this last week we had the weather go down below -9. So it was very cold here. So these extreme boot socks are fantastic for that.
Now
and
we have
then
rain, right?
Yes, and now we have rain. So
All the snow is melting.
yep, it's good. It might give us a chance to clean up our backyard from the dogs because the snow is melting. That's wonderful. So for this week, I was thinking we could offer some ultra alpaca in two different colors of blue, one in a bright blue and then one in a more muted or lighter color of blue.
And dark blue or light blue? What do they go for?
I think darker light.
Dark blue, light blue?
Yeah. And this one's very denim-esque, and it's super beautiful. And this one is, it has almost like a little bit of purple in it. Do you see that? It's so awesome. If you haven't tried Barocco Ultra Alpaca before, it's a 50-50 blend of superfine alpaca and wool. So you get the characteristics of alpaca and the characteristics of wool, which give you the warmth and the longevity of the yarn or the project that you've knit. So it's perfect for many, many projects.
Hey, lots of people coming online from Michigan, Buffalo. Buffalo got a lot of stuff.
Oh my goodness, there are people online from Buffalo. I am so sorry for all of you out there from Buffalo that are in even colder conditions than we are. We're like 1 hour away from Canada, and so we have cold, but I bet you anything we don't have the extreme cold that Buffalo has right now. So welcome all of you there in Pennsylvania and Michigan. It's nice to have all of you with us. If you can push that like button and share with your buddies, and we can all learn together and maybe enjoy our knitting a little bit together through this online video. So a couple of patterns that I really, really like. I pulled this out of the bucket, and this is brioche. If you've never seen brioche before, it has pattern in between and then some sections with brioche in it. And what it does is it gives you a ribbing effect, and it also gives you, do you see how it's kind of reversible? It's so beautiful. I love brioche, and I love the effect that it gives you.
Is brioche actually always reversible or not?
Yeah. It'll be one dark color on the outside and a light color, or whatever is dominant on this side will not be dominant. The other color will be dominant on the other side. And that has to do with, on this side, the white color is being purled, and then on the other side it's being knit. So whatever stitches side the knit stitches are knit on is the color that's going to be most dominant. And this one, if you've never seen this hat before, it's called the Rudbeckia hat. That's a little baby hat that I did, and it's by Drea Renee Knits, or Andrea Mowry. And if you haven't knit this pattern before, it's a lovely pattern. It's called the Rudbeckia hat by Andrea Mowry. And it's kind of a double thick pattern, and she does kind of a spiral type brim pattern, which is really fun and easy to do. And this is where I took the base pattern and put it on the edge of baby booties for a baby project to match the hat.
They want to see them.
Sure, of course. So you see how I just made little baby mucklucks out of it. And this was, I just kind of made the pattern up as I went. It's not an actual pattern. I was just using a little bit of this Rudbeckia hat pattern to put on the edge of booties. But it's totally fantastic.
I asked about that too. Bottom of your slippers. Remember how you do
Of these?
bottoms?
Oh yeah. These, the bottom of the slippers are knit all in one piece, and they're knit using the Judy's Magic cast on. And you just flip it to the purl side and start knitting. And you can make seamless slippers. And so if you look on the inside of here, do you see how that looks? And the booty, it's almost reversible on both sides if you wanted garter stitch on one side. Yeah, so cool. It's really fun. Learning how to make things seamless and make it so there's less seaming is wonderful.
So there was a comment, so you can repeat it. That
sure.
When someone says they're waiting on the videos for last month's knit club.
Oh, okay. Jim said that someone is waiting for the videos on last month's knit club.
And we got them done early, actually. We got them done on the 15th.
And we got them done on the 15th. So they should be out there for you. So go ahead and check for those again. So you should be able to find them. If for some reason you cannot, contact us at Alpaca Direct at Customer Service, and we can make sure that you get those. Because we did get them done early so that we could enjoy the Christmas holiday. We did not want to be working on videos right up to our Christmas Eve, and we want to spend time with our family and make sure that our loved ones know that we love them. And so I wanted to show you a couple of current patterns, and one of them is called the spur hat. Can you see it, Jim, in there?
Yep.
So this is a new pattern style that I'm seeing, and you see the decreases at the top of the hat where it kind of leaves like a flat on either side edge. Does that come through, Jim?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, that's good.
Like that? Yeah. And that one is called the spur hat, and it's by Hiromi Nagasawa. And I know that this person may not be written just in English, but her pattern is very clear and easy to follow. So it's an excellent pattern, and plus it's very inexpensive. It's like a $3 pattern on Ravelry. So if you're interested in doing a hat like that, now I wish I could have brought my sample with me. And if you look at the brim of the hat is done in 2x2 ribbing, and then she switches to 1x1 ribbing just underneath this band, and then the top of it is brioche knitting. And she does decreases in brioche. And so maybe this next week I'll talk about it, because I'll have my hat with me. And some people who are knitting it were having a little bit of a problem with their decreases, making it so it didn't look as clean. It kind of looked a little bit loose and maybe a little bit sloppy. And I can show you some techniques that you can use to make sure that that doesn't happen if you want to do this hat. And it's a really nice design. It's good for both men and women. And of course, here is the copycat beanie. And that one is by Emily Ingrid or Clementine Knits. And this has been, people sell it in ski shops all the time. It's a very common pattern. And that one is free on Ravelry. So if you were interested in doing a hat like that, many people have done that pattern, and I've knit it many times myself as well. It's a great pattern and easy to follow too.
So what are the big changes, like from this last year, the years past to this year?
I think the hats are getting more slouchy. They're not, they're longer and they're slouchier. They're less beanie-like. Let's see. Here is another picture of this spur hat. Can you see it in there, Jim? Yeah. It hangs up on top of your head a little bit more. You can roll the brim up higher and make it more like a beanie, but the pattern, the styles are going more toward kind of a slouchy stand-up, more hat on the top of your head than just having it snug to the top of your head. Yeah. So, and it looks really good. I like this type of bind off, and I'm working on mine right now. And what it is it just decreases, and then you knit 6 rounds in pattern, and every 6 rounds you decrease. And you do that like 6 times, and then it closes with Kitchener stitch. So it's a super easy way to do those hats. So I'm excited to get mine done. So maybe we can look at that next week. And then also, another thing that I wanted to look at coming up here is this NOLA Slipover. And this one is by Svetlana Volka. Maybe I didn't pronounce that exactly right, but you can see the writing on there.
Volkova.
Yeah, and her it's just a nice little slipover, and it has a little bit of shape to it, and people say that it's really easy to knit, and it has a bunch of different sizes on it, and it uses a thicker weight yarn. So that was another thing that I was thinking.
What is it you like about that one?
I like slipovers because it's kind of like a vest, you know? So you can wear it over the top of your clothes, especially when you're making something out of a fiber that's either wool or alpaca. You tend to get hot, especially if you're like me and you're running around all the time. You get hot when you're moving around. And so having just a little bit of something to keep the core of your body warm does the trick without making you blow smoke out your ears, which you don't want to do. And some of my alpaca sweaters are so hot, I can't even wear them in my house. I have to only wear them when I go outside. And the minute I come back in the house, I have to take them off because they're too hot.
Mention just when they're with alpaca around your neck versus like wool. Maybe you can repeat what I said.
Oh yeah, Jim said, and what is the effect between using wool around your neck or using the alpaca, the baby alpaca around your neck? And the baby alpaca tends to not have a lot of guard hairs. Sometimes people who have sensitivity to wool, they're actually having a sensitivity to guard hairs on their neck. And so with alpaca, since the baby alpaca doesn't have a lot of guard hairs, it is more comfortable next to your skin. Yeah. Yeah. And it's alpaca is also a hollow core fiber. And so it's much warmer than regular wool. Even though regular wool does do the trick, the alpaca is a next level above. So
it's good for around your neck.
Yes. Well, it's good for extreme conditions. If you were doing, heavy duty mountain climbing, I would not go with wool. I would go with the baby alpaca. Because it's that much better. It's totally awesome. And there's some other fibers like bison and stuff like that are really good too. They also have a higher price point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's all in what you want to spend on it. So anyway, yes, the hat styles are changing a bit to the slouchier ones, but let's take a look again and see what we have for our socks. So the winning color is this gray, and then for this next week, we have the ultra alpaca in the either a darker, brighter blue or less bright blue. So maybe blue and denim. And you guys can choose. You post comments in the comment section. If you can post any comments in the comment section to be entered to win the prize. And then for next week, we will send out 2 skeins of either the regular blue or bright blue or regular blue or light blue denim. And I don't know. I think they're both beautiful. I've used this ultra alpaca lots and lots of times, and it's a great yarn.
What hats they like. Maybe they can post it.
Yes. Can you guys post comments in the comment section if you have particular hat styles that you like, or ones that you're seeing when you're walking out in public, maybe in the regular sporting stores or like the ski shops and stuff like that, and see what they're doing. I know for a couple of years ago, it was the really super chunky hats, but now I'm just kind of seeing the ones that kind of stick up in the air.
What about copycat hat? Is the copycat hat still?
I think the copycat hat, I still see a lot of people wearing it, and I'm not sure if it's because their hats didn't wear out and they're just wearing them again and again. But I see the newer style hats that look newer on people's head, and they're that they're more like this other stand-up kind. They're more like this spur hat. They're more like that. Yeah. So anyway, it's the spur hat. What's neat about that pattern is, like I said, you get 2x2 ribbing, and then about the time you get tired of that, you go to 1x1 ribbing, and then when you get tired of that, then you go to brioche knitting, and it's just one color brioche, and so it's easy. You're not dealing with multiple colors of yarn, and it's easy to accomplish. It's fun. It's TV knitting. Yeah. Oh yeah, and doing brioche in the round, if you've never done brioche before, is the simplest way to do it. I think that when you're doing brioche flat, it's harder because you have to manage the yarns more. So yeah, it's totally fantastic. So alrighty, can we see who the winner is for this week? Let's take a look. Oh yes, this week is a little bit short. I can't believe, first time ever my knitting project didn't make it in my bag. And it's probably sitting right on the counter waiting for me when I get home. But we'll take a look at it next week. And so the winner is Patty Nichols Dwyer. Congratulations, Patty. You have some wonderful alpaca socks. And all you have to do is get in contact with us at www.alpacadirect.com, customer service, and give us your shipping address. And we'll get these lovely alpaca socks out in the mail to you. Yes, and if you have a particular size, this is a size medium, which will fit quite a few people. But if you need an extra size, we will try to accommodate your sizing, whatever size that you need. So I hope you have all enjoyed your Christmas, and pretty soon is going to be New Year's. Oh my gosh, I need to get going on my vision boards and all that stuff. Jim and I have been slacking, so we need to get to it. So I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday.